Meanwhile, Wion's Sumit Chaturvedi also spoke with the International Monetary Fund's Geeta Gopinath at the ongoing World Economic Forum in the snow-smothered hilly town of Davos in Switzerland. Geeta Gopinath gave a double thumbs up to the Indian economy. Take a look.
We're joined by IMF's chief economist, Geeta Gopinath, in Davos here. Thanks for talking to us, Geeta. And first of all, a lot of discussions happening around the world economy, Indian economy. What is your outlook for global economy? Because a lot of is being said about the impending slowdown in the world economy. What do you think about it?
So our outlook is that global growth will slow in 2019. But it's going to be a modest slowdown, so it's not going to be a very dramatic change. We're certainly not staring at a recession right now. And so while there is reason to be concerned, I don't think it's like we're hitting the panic button at this point.
About India, because the elections season is here, a lot of SOPs could be there, a lot of other schemes could be there. What do you think about the Indian economy? Will it get hurt by this? What do you say on that?
The Indian economy we forecast will grow at around 7.5% in 2019, which makes it one of the fastest growing large economies of the world. I think it is very important for India to stay on the fiscal consolidation track. We haven't seen much of an improvement in that over the last 5 years. I'm talking about the consolidated budget right now, the center and the state. So policies that raise expenditures by a lot, I think, would not be good for the Indian economy.
All right. Okay. One last question. Global trade wars. What is your viewpoint on the global trade wars?
We are really hoping to see an end to it because it is having a negative impact on the economy, and it is one of the biggest risks going forward.
Meanwhile, preparations are in full swing in India's capital, New Delhi, as Republic Day is just 2 days away. Defence contingents have been rehearsing for the parade every day, braving dense fog and winter. Wion World is One's Siddhant Sibal spoke exclusively to a number of defence personnel participating in this year's rehearsals and parade. Let's hear out what they had to say.
I think it's a matter of great pride and honor to me, and I think it's a glory for us, and this will remain in the history of Army Service Corps. 2019, our contingent had been a part of Rajpath. So not just me, two of my JCOs and 144 Jawans in the contingent are very privileged.
Doing the stunts, the Daredevil stunts, do you feel, is it risky? For the viewer at least it seems.
Yeah, initially first time if you see, then it feels very risky and dangerous. Because right now if you see, you'll feel all these stunts we are performing, you'll feel dangerous. But slowly we have come up to that level. Initially I was also finding it very difficult. But right now I think I'm finding it more confident.
Well, we've had seniors in the past also leading the naval contingent. Albeit the only time we've had an entire contingent of women was when the theme of Republic Day parade was Nari Shakti. Apart from that, we've always had women participating in the parade, and for me personally, it's a privilege to be here.
Now, it will be a Republic Day with many firsts, including the display of the Army's newly acquired artillery gun. Wion World is One's Siddhant Sibal also spoke exclusively to Major General Rajpal Punia, second in command of this year's Republic Day parade.
We have Make in India equipment K9 Vajra is going to participate. It's going to be a pride for the nation. And also biofuel, that is Jatropa fuel being manufactured or made in India. An aircraft would be flying with that fuel for the first time.
Captain Bhavna Seal, a third-generation officer in the armed forces, will be leading the transportational satellite terminals contingent. She also spoke to Wion.
It feels, I feel honored to be part of the RD parade. It's a dream come true for any service personnel to walk down the Rajpath. So I feel really happy and I feel lucky to be part of this parade.
Now, India has been steadily growing concerned over the presence of the Chinese Navy in its neighborhood. To heighten surveillance in the Indian Ocean, the Indian Navy will now open a third airbase on the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. The Indian Navy will step up surveillance of Chinese ships and submarines entering the Indian Ocean through the nearby Malacca Straits. China is building commercial ports stretching from Sri Lanka to Pakistan that India fears could become naval outposts. India's Navy Chief Admiral Sunil Lanba will commission the new base called INS Kohasa, about 300 kilometers north of the archipelago's capital, Port Blair. The facility will have a 1,000-meter runway for helicopters and Dornier surveillance aircraft. But both India and China have been locked in a contest for influence, with New Delhi trying to push back against Beijing's expansive diplomacy in the region. Now, France's National Health Agency has discovered traces of dangerous chemicals in babies' disposable nappies across various brands. But US consumer product group Procter & Gamble, or P&G, has denied the findings, claiming that their products have always been safe. Several tests conducted by France's health agency, ANSES, found substances that are potentially dangerous to human health, including the controversial weed killer glyphosate. The French government has asked manufacturers and retailers to ensure that these substances are removed from the nappies.
Même à rassurer les parents. Aujourd'hui, l'ANSES dit bien qu'il n'y a pas de risque immédiat pour la santé des enfants. D'ailleurs, je pense qu'on le verrait, puisque tous les enfants du monde entier portent des couches, donc il n'y a pas de risque immédiat. Mais ce que dit l'ANSES aussi, il faut l'entendre, c'est que, étant donné la présence de ces produits toxiques, ils ne peuvent pas non plus exclure un risque pour la santé des enfants sur le long terme. Et donc c'est pour cette raison-là que, par précaution, nous souhaitons mieux protéger nos enfants de risques éventuels que l'agence de sécurité ne peut pas totalement exclure.
The tests detected a number of hazardous chemicals in disposable diapers that could harm a baby's health. Some of the chemicals have been added as perfumes, which can cause skin allergies, and others have been introduced as part of the manufacturing process plan.
Ça ne m'étonne pas du tout parce que pour que ce soit aussi absorbant, il faut forcément qu'il y ait des produits chimiques dedans. Sinon, c'est pas possible. Sinon, il faut faire à l'ancienne et il faut changer sans arrêt.
Bien évidemment, c'est très inquiétant. Ils sont nourrissons, ils sont très petits. Donc, on sait de toutes les façons, hein, que ça concerne les couches, les lingettes, tout ce qui est... il y a trop de produits chimiques dedans. Et je pense que c'est très mauvais pour les enfants.
The Environment and Finance Ministers of France have issued a joint statement calling on manufacturers and retailers to take measures within the next 15 days to eliminate the harmful substances from babies' nappies. A pizzeria in London is now offering a discount deal in support of a second referendum. Yes, a discount on pizzas if customers can prove their support for a fresh referendum. Take a look at this report.
As small-scale entrepreneurs in Britain complain that the disarray over Brexit has left their business in limbo, this London restaurant hopes its customers can help sort out the mess in exchange for discounted dinners. This pizzeria is offering a discount to customers who have written to their local MP expressing support for a second Brexit referendum. Customers need to bring in a copy of a letter or email to their MP expressing support for a fresh poll and get a discount.
So we decided to do 25% off if you show a copy of your of an email or a letter if you've written to your MP asking for a second referendum. We're not necessarily anti-Brexit. I openly admit to have voted Remain, but we're really anti the uncertainty, and another referendum is the fastest way out.
Discounts will be valid from Sundays to Thursdays on eat-in meals rather than takeaways, and for customers ordering at least 2 items. The offer ends either on March 29th or when a second referendum is called.
Well, I think it's brilliant. I mean, it's a good idea, isn't it? You know, it gets people interested. And I think a lot of people aren't interested enough, you know. But a lot of people seem to think that a no-deal Brexit means everything remains the same. Of course it doesn't. It's an absolute disaster.
The pizzeria relies heavily on Italian imports. Of all the menu items, the classic margherita pizza may be the most threatened in case of the UK leaving the EU.
Where will I source my cheese? In August of this year. I have no idea. I buy a lot of fresh cheese from Italy. that can't stay in a lorry park in Calais. I'd like to know my supply chain for the year ahead. That would be useful for me to plan, so I'm unable to plan that at the moment.
Not just the ingredients. The pizzeria owner also worries about future staffing, as some of his team members come from mainland Europe. The pizzeria is in the Hockney North and Stoke Newington constituency, which has Labour shadow Home Secretary Diane Abbott as its MP. It voted to remain with a more than 78% majority.
We're a kind of Remainery part of London, and lots of people who have written really lovely responses. Mixed online, I've put by doing what I believe in, I've definitely put my business in jeopardy. There's a lot of horrible lies that have been written about my business online by people who think I'm anti-Brexit. I'm not anti-Brexit, but I'm very anti-Brexit uncertainty.
So, can Kenny and his pizzeria help break the Brexit deadlock? That is the question. Bureau Report, World is One.
Bangladesh is moving to regularize e-rickshaws. The country's Road Transport Authority has submitted a draft of guidelines for the Road and Transport Highway Ministry. So far, e-rickshaws have been plying on the roads without any permission. The e-rickshaws will now have to be registered once the guidelines are approved by the government. The operators will also need fitness certifications for their vehicles. Electric vehicles operated on rent will need to have route permits from regional transport committees. The government will decide on the fares. Like other vehicles, electric vehicles will also need to have chassis number and motor number inscribed on its body or frame. The battery can be charged at approved charging stations or under personal management using any renewable energy like solar panel. The last few years have seen a massive rise in the number of e-rickshaws that ply on Indian roads too. Over 100,000 or 1 lakh battery-powered vehicles are estimated to be ferrying passengers in capital Delhi alone. Until October last year, only 33,000 of these e-rickshaws were registered. The Delhi government had even banned the circulation of these e-rickshaws in 2014, but to no avail. In the month of August last year, the Delhi High Court slammed the government for not being able to either curtail or regulate these vehicles. The Delhi government has managed to string together a draft policy in the last few months. The regulatory framework aims to ease the operation of electric vehicles, while several steps like waivers and licensing have been included in this draft. Not much has been talked about safety measures.